Okay, we're going to do a little offbeat kit review because this is the Morgan Plus8. I saw this, somebody was selling this, and it looked pretty interesting, and it's huge. That's because it's a 1/16 scale. But the price seemed good. I think I paid 25 or 30 bucks for this. And when I like to, sometimes I think of things better than they were, so it was probably 30. Um, I looked at eBay real quick, and at the time there were two for sale. One was 70, and I think another one was higher than that. So I jumped on it, bought it. I looked recently on eBay. I can't find any of these for sale on eBay, but it's by LS Models, and I cannot find anything online to do with LS Models other than the fact that they're no longer in business. But they were called LS Company Limited and based out of Japan. If anybody has a link or knows any information or can point us to it, I'd appreciate that. Um, the box is a little worn. It said the box has some wear, and then when I got it, yeah, it's got some wear. I think a couple of mice either they were eating the cardboard. I don't know if mice can live on cardboard. More than likely, they were using it for nesting material. But when I did open it, it was just a little bit of dirt in the box. There wasn't any mice droppings in there. So something I didn't notice online, it has a motor. But I'll talk about that in a little bit when we open the box. But I didn't notice that when I had purchased it. Normally I'm not interested in putting an electric motor in a car, but there's an interesting twist to that inside. So, alright, let's take a look. This is a nice box cover. It makes the car look huge. I mean, it is a 1/16 scale, but filling up the cover with a picture of the car is a nice touch. If I saw this on the shelf brand new, that would pull me in. Got the directions. I think we'll start with the directions, but I'll get back to that. So if you notice the car body, not sure what color you call that. Maroon? The box cover shows yellow. So I guess I'll have to do a little research. Check out what colors the car came in for real. If I don't like any of those, I'll just pick my own color. Too many sprues we got. I like the separate sections for the parts. I'm a sucker for that. It's like a little added bonus. Here's the decals. That's it for the license plate. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 3 sprues in here. Some more maroon parts, some clear parts, and clear red. We got the car body. Nice. The motor. Some gears, which we'll get into. These look like rubber tires, but I'll have to open them and see. And some either cabling or tubing. And we'll check that out as well. But let's start with the directions. A little brief history of the car. And a parts list. I think I've only built one model that had a parts list. I like this. I like it because sometimes the directions will say put part 23 here. And I'm looking at the part and I can find it on the sprue. But I have no clue what the part is. And well, you see we got a problem here already. Even with a parts list, part D2, the knuckle. I do not know what a knuckle is. So we'll have to find out. Let's take a look. Here's D2. So that's the knuckle. I still don't know what it is. So I'll have to learn that. I'm sure some of you watching this know what that is, and can't believe that I don't, but here it is. But that's a very nice parts list. And we'll look at the sprues individually in a minute. This is pretty cool. This is a exploded view of the entire model on one page. I guess that's kind of cool because at any step of the build, you usually have to flip through, read a little forward, see what it's going to impact. Maybe if you're going to paint something, do you paint it now or do you paint it after you get it together? And this that can help you with those decisions. At first, when I saw that this had an electric motor, I thought, I'm not going to put that in because I really don't care if it can move. Then I had a look at these instructions, and look at this. The electric motor actually goes inside the motor. That's pretty cool. So it's actually turning a drive shaft, which reaches, I guess, back to the back wheels. That's pretty unusual. I think I'm definitely going to put the motor in now, especially since someday I plan on doing hopefully to do a remote control tractor trailer or something like that. This would be a little bit of a practice for that. So that will be pretty interesting. I guess I'll wire up the motor to my power supply. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the review and see if it still works. Here's the vinyl tubing we saw. They want you to wire the spark plugs. That's good, and that's included. And here is part D2 with the knuckle. Another nice feature is got each step. It shows you when that step's finished what it should look like. That helps a lot. But here is the knuckle, and here's the knuckle in place. And part of the structure of the wheels and the front axles. So there it is. So I guess now if I'm going to a flea market and somebody says keep an eye out for a knuckle for my car, I know what it is. Here's the gears for the rear end. And I'm wondering, because let's see, that gets enclosed. I wonder if I should put a drop of oil in there before I seal it up. Well, I guess afterwards it wouldn't hurt to drill a little hole in there and put some oil in if they got bound up. But that'll be fun. And notice there's a hammer, and you use a hammer in this step as well. That scares me, because some of the parts, if you start tapping it with a hammer, then you realize you're not going to get it in far enough with the hammer. It needs to be the end needs to be sanded down or something like that. Now it's too late. Once you tap it in, there's no way to get it out. Those kind of steps scare me. We'll see how that goes. Here's the wiring for the engine to the motor to the batteries, and that the lead wiring that's included in the kit. Also, these staples. I wonder if this makes this more valuable. These staples in the manual are completely rusted out. Is that like a patina on a piece of old furniture? Makes it more valuable. No, it won't matter because I'm going to build this. I'm not going to resell it. Leaf springs. The bonnet straps. So this looks like this was included with the tubing and the wiring. So we'll take that out and look at it. That'll be cool to have a bonnet strap on the a real bonnet strap on the car. And here we have the doors. However, it looks like, yeah, a couple of pieces on the door. So it looks like they'll be able to open the doors. So these will have to be lined up just right. That could be a little scary here, but that'll be a little challenge. Make sure you can't open the doors, and when they're closed, they're lined up straight. It's nice to have that part of the model, because I am not into scratch building a door so that it will open. And some of the exterior. So a lot of lights here. Front end, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights. That will look nice when that's done. Now there's a battery compartment, but I did not notice a battery with the kit. I wonder if it originally came with the kit and they threw them out. Doesn't say they were included, but at least they have the space for them in the trunk. And that's that. A couple of photos of the real car, and let's move on. We'll take a look at all the sprues now. I think I'll leave this open. It's a few description. What drew me to this model was there's a lot of different colors. The plastic. Different color sprues, different color body. So let's take a look at that now. That is a nice color. Feels kind of loose. Ah, the pieces were stacked. Got the hood, or the bonnet. It's got a few grills on there. They're yeah, they're just molded in. They're not all the way through. I guess the upper frame. Battery compartment. Fenders. There is, I don't think there needs to be, but there's no detail on any of these. So let's see. Now, there's something missing from here. It looks like a perfect spot to put batteries. And it is sealed. Yes, it's sealed over to there. So, looks like they used to, maybe originally included batteries, and then later on decided not to put them in. Here's the motor, the gears for the rear end, and let's see the tires. Tires are rubber. Rubber tires are a good thing. However, it does have a bit of a seam. There we go. Yeah, some of it's good, but then it does have a little bit of tire flash. But most of it's pretty good. Nice. I was very happy to see springs. Front springs. Real springs. Nice. the bonnet straps. Oh, some wire there. The bonnet straps, which have a little bit of detail. A little graininess. To them. Tubing for the spark plugs. Wiring for the motor. Miscellaneous screws, connectors for the batteries, and that's the hose for the radiator, I believe. Quick note, that is a not for the radiator, that is a rubber joint, which is actually part of the drive shaft. Sounds a little weird, which is right here. So the front drive shaft connects to the rear drive shaft with a rubber grommet. I guess it will fit in there snugly, so that it doesn't spin inside the rubber. But we'll see. But that's what that is. And I imagine a little emblem fits in there. Let's check that exploded view. Yep. Little chrome piece fits in there. Rest of it looks good. And sprue B, inspected by number 10, is labeled black colored parts. Radiator, nice detail. Belt. Again, all good detail. It's like really no flash on this. Inspected by number 1. Now this says these are iron colored parts. Now, this is not this is not iron colored. It is definitely black. I don't know what went wrong there. These are definitely black parts. The firewall. Got a few details on it. Front seats. And the chassis frame, which supposedly is iron colored, but is not. Looks like inspector number 1 didn't get his job done. Alright, next is a collar I've never seen before in a sprue, and it's called matted plated parts. Kind of like a flat, dull chrome. Wheel rims. Rear differential. That's interesting. That's nice to have the sprues of the different colors. So we'll see if we can get away with not painting them. Maybe just putting an additional flat coat or semi-gloss on them. We'll see how they look. There's the leaf springs for the rear. Clear parts. Let's see how this glass looks. The glass is quite... The windshield's a little bit scratched up from being in the bag, but otherwise pretty nice. See right through it. No distortion. Of course, the many lens covers for the front. Those 8 lights. Clear red. Parking lights. And they all look pretty clean. All the parts in this kit look clean. Very nice. Alright. Let's see if this motor is still alive, and I am guessing no. If I had $1 to put on this, even a penny. If I had a penny to put on this, I would say no, this is dead. It's too old. And I still don't know how old this kit is yet, but it looks old enough where this would be dead. And this, let's put this on here. I'm not going to be able to tell if it's spinning. Oh, we can hear it. I don't know how noisy it's going to be. Well, it won't be noisy at all, so I think it's dead. But find positive is positive. And negative. Okay, place your bets. Power. Guessing 3 volts. We'll turn it up and see what happens. Whoa! Let's see. Guessing 3 volts, but let's turn it up slow. And, well, I don't think it's going to work at all. So. Whoa! Get it? It is alive! Yeah? This will be cool. Look, this is up. Whoa! That really gets to cranking over 2 volts. Alright, we'll see, but it's alive. That's good. It's pretty cool to hook this up. So now we'll just need to find out how old this kit is. There's no date in the instructions. There's no date on the box. There's no date stamped on the sprues. So I'll have to do some research online, see what I can find. Or there is some Japanese writing on the box. Maybe I could scan that into Google somehow and translate that. But in any event, we have a live motor. So that's a huge recommendation from me. Morgan Plus8 LS models. If you see one, get one. Thanks for watching. Have fun.